Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of a Drunken Night Out. For the people that don't know how the show works, I got some beautiful, hilarious comics coming from all over the globe, and we do the show online and in person and podcasts. So go ahead and check that out on everywhere where podcasts are available. A Drunken Night Out. So what happens is we get these comics up here, and they tell embarrassing ass stories. Everybody's had those stories about being drunk or high or a combination of the two. And we get them to goof off and have a fun time. And then we get drunk. Cheers to Friday, long week. And then we riff on whatever topics y'all want us to talk about. So like if you want to talk about sweaty booties, we can riff on that, drunkenly riff on that. Whatever it is that you want us to talk about, that's what we'll do. But before we get started, I'd like to bring up our donation page. If you want to help us out and get these comics some money, some of them don't have furniture. A lot of us need money to drink and all of our other habits. Venmo us at BL Comedy or Cash App us at $Big Laugh Comedy. All the proceeds go to our habits, and maybe we can get some money for this for y'all. And then another thing, shout out to our sponsors here at AMA. This is the Way of Life, CBD. You can go ahead and use our code BL Comedy to get a discount, a 20% discount when you go to AMA's website. So check that out. It's delicious. Most CBDs, you can't just squirt in your mouth like that because it tastes like butt, but not AMA. AMA's delicious, y'all. And it's going to help with my hangover later. So cheers to that. All right, so let's get these comics up. First comic comes to the show. Very, very funny guy. I was out doing a show at Tee's Comedy Club, and he was there. Super funny guy. He told me a story on the way there. We didn't know each other for less than 30 minutes. He's already spilling his guts to me, telling me about how he cried after bombing, and he cried the entire way home. 2-hour drive with a friend in the car.
40 minutes. You're doing hyperbole right now. It was 40 minutes, but it's still too long to be crying with another guy.
Yeah, for sure. Sam Prickett, man. How you doing?
I'm not crying anymore. That's good. I'm hanging out, man. Yeah. How are you?
Fantastic, man.
Got a whole fucking studio there. That looks nice. Is that it? That's cool, man.
Yeah. That's right. You've never been in the studio to record, but yeah. Never. It's a whole studio fucking setup. It's cool stuff. We'll talk about that later and not live on the show. But
Christ, all right. Fuck me. All right.
But let's talk about what kind of cool stuff you got going on, man. Tell them about yourself. Let them know where they can find you and stuff like that.
Oh man, you go. Okay, that's first before I prove I'm funny. All right. There's I'm on Instagram, Smug Prickett. I same on Twitter. And I just got fired from my job, so I'd love any amount of money. Fucking come and follow me, fucking.
Is there a way to play that In the Arms of an Angel by Sarah McLachlan right now for him?
And I wear a dog costume, and then I have you come over and hit me with a stick, and I just look sad into a camera, and people give me a quarter.
Oh man, geez, yeah, definitely donate, y'all, because he just got fired, so he's gonna be homeless soon. That's what that means.
Plan. I got a tent. I'm ready. Yeah.
So this has been like a long-term planning situation. Huh?
Yeah. I mean, the whole life, really. Yeah.
Okay. You're just like, I'll just keep a tent on deck just in case anything happens.
Yeah.
Hey, Sam. Let's talk about when you started drinking. How old were you when you started drinking?
Oh shit! It was like I smoked weed first because that was just easier to come by. Weirdly, I smoked weed when I was like 12 for the first time.
What?
And I hated it, so I did it for 6 years every day just to make sure I hated it. And I think I've probably like 16, 17 probably is when I first started like drinking. Yeah.
So you smoked for an entire like 5 years, 6 years before you ever drank.
Yeah.
What? That's fucking weird. Never. So they can't say that weed is a gateway drug because you never even tried to get drunk one time.
Right. I mean, I think in your metaphor, weed would be a gateway drug to alcohol, and then alcohol, everything else. But all
right, I guess I was wrong. Fuck it. I didn't say I was good at this kind of stuff. I'm just saying that's.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I don't use logic, man. Whatever. Fuck it.
Yeah.
All right, bro. Let's talk about the crazy, wild, fucking ridiculous night of drinking that
Ridiculous
you've
story.
had. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I had the you asked me that. I had one in my mind. It happened recently, kind of. It was like I don't know, maybe a year ago, probably. I was doing because I don't drink. Drinking is my main thing, but then also drinking lets other things happen. You know, so it's
Okay.
like I do a bit on stage about how drinking is the first domino in like a degenerate Rube Goldberg machine. You know, like one beer knocks into another, which pours into a bucket connected to a system of levers and pulleys that raises a bag of cocaine to my nose. So that's where I was on this night. It just happened to, the machine worked and I was sufficiently coked up. And I was on stage and I remember I had done a little bit before and I just remember being on stage at some show. It was like a Thursday night or whatever. And people were in the audience were looking at me weird. I was doing fine. They were looking at me weird. I assumed because they just couldn't understand that someone could be this good at comedy. And then I walked off the stage and then I rubbed my nose like that. And then just blood was pouring from my nostrils.
What?
Which, yeah. I mean, yeah.
How does that, from what? From drinking too much?
From cocaine.
Wait, so you were on stage just bleeding from your nose?
Bleeding from the nose. People were looking at me weird. No one said anything at all, which was kind of disturbing. Because if it was actually a problem, that would have been a problem. I think I could have had a heart attack in that moment. People would have been like, "Oh, it's like some alt bit. He's doing alt comedy now." Yeah. So that happened, and then I was at that was just the momentum of the night. So I was at some other bar drinking, like a bar across the street. Yeah. And then I met a girl with adult braces that also like to do cocaine. So we were which I don't know why, but that is adult braces do seem to be like a weird, I don't know why that's as funny to me as it actually is. Have you met anyone with adult braces? I've seen like 2 people.
They're usually like pretty weird people. Like full on braces, like Invisalign is acceptable, but like
no, this is like braces. She's
like
waiting 6
braces.
months to have them be taken off. Braces. They're still purple and red. They have she's still into ska, but I guess white and black would have been the better. Anyway, so adult braces. Her friend ended up dropping me off at her place. Her friend was pissed that she was hanging out with me in general. And so we rode her messy car to this girl's place in like the suburbs. It was like a 2-hour car ride. I wasn't thinking at all. And also it does seem to be weird with like a girl with adult braces doing cocaine. It just hit me. Because it's like I can't chew gum, but I can like gum coke, you know. Anyway, you can. So that's like a shitty little. Hey, I thought of that earlier, Joe.
Clearly intoxicated right now. That's the reason for that joke.
Right, yeah, it's like I haven't not been. That's what I've been doing to prepare for the show. It's just drinking nonstop until my brain is done. But there's. So hold up, except from a thing, because I can't hear the laughs anyway. Assume none are happening because it's people are in their homes. What a weird way to do comedy. Anyway, there's so by some circumstance, the story goes places. She ended up finding out that I was friends with someone that she knew from like the internet. I'm friends with this girl that I was like I've been friends with for a while, and then also like kind of seeing at the time she got famous from some famous quote unquote from like an internet video that went viral where she was just acting ridiculous at a furry convention. And also another thing that's important to the story is she had a broken leg at the time because she tripped over her tail. Anyway,
When she don't just anyways that. You have to just completely go over that. She tripped over her tail as a furry and
Yeah, yeah, yes. I mean, I don't know how to. Yeah, she had brittle bones. Apparently, she didn't drink enough milk, as animals are likely to do. She didn't drink enough of it.
Yo, I all right. So for me, did she continue doing furry shit after she broke her bones?
No, well, that was like the story is very complicated. That was no, she hasn't broken. Just long story, she hasn't broken any bones by the grace of God. She should have probably.
Because I feel like that. I feel like after you break a bone doing like furry shit, that's like going back and surfing after a shark bites you. Like you shouldn't. Like I'm not getting.
Yeah, you have no arms to center your gravity. You can hang 10, but not 20 because you don't have fingers. And there's yeah. So, yeah, she knew her, and then at some point, I mean, it was just I was completely out of my. All of us were out of our mind. We were doing drugs and drinking. That's hey, drunk night out. So she ended up finding out. We ended up calling her. It was probably like 5 o'clock in the morning at the time. Are you texting right now?
I'm doing a watch party.
All right. Be like, this is your show. You're trying to get laid now? You're on Tinder? Jesus Christ. I'm sorry to derail. All right.
Nobody else knew that, so thanks for pointing that out, man.
You can see it on the screen. On the fucking screen. Yeah. So she knew this girl, and then she called her from my phone and then like mentioned something about like, hey, we'll come over there. It'll be like a 3-way. And then she seeped down, so I was like excited. Anyway, also broken leg cast. Have that be in your head during the thing.
It's fun sex, dude.
What? Fun
sex? Yeah, fun sex with a cast on. Come on,
sex. I mean, it should have been. Anyway, the story will prove otherwise, but there's I don't even know how to get into this really. She so we got there, we were like doing coke, whatever. Drinking. And then me and the other girl, we'll name them names. We'll call the one Braces and the other one Fun because she is. And so Braces, having mentioned a 3-way earlier, is fully clothed while me and Fun are having sex. Making love, I prefer to call it, because anything else seems dirty, and I feel dirty alone in my apartment telling the story now.
As you should, dude.
Yeah, but completely organic night. And there's one point where the other one, Braces, is holding Fun's cast up in the air like she's looking for coins underneath a couch, just facilitating whatever. Anyway, the story ends as the next day both of them went to rehab, so it really means
after they hooked up with you, they're like, we got to get our life together.
Yes. And I've been putting people on the right path since a couple months ago, and yeah, man. So that's the story. What's new with you? What do I do?
Oh man, I feel like that story I would have changed my life around also. Like,
dude, yeah.
What did you?
I should have. I don't even know why I didn't. I'm still drinking, doing this show right now. Should be on Wall Street trading stocks.
Yeah, you definitely should not be drunk ever again going to bars. And look,
it's fucking evil. Yeah.
You were fucking late to the show coming from a bar. That's how serious you are about drunken nights out, man.
I'm focused. I feel like I have intention.
All right. All right, man. So that's how the fucking first part of the show works. I just do an interview. It's just super chill, relax. And now I'm gonna get the next comic to the show. Very funny ass comic. The first time I actually met this comic was at a comedy club. Also, very fun night. I was headlining a comedy club, and they were on the show. And by the end of the night, they had been kicked out of the comedy club. So put your hands together for Bella Dillman, y'all.
Hey guys, wow, so exciting to be here.
Oh man.
Did I get kicked out of that comedy club? I don't remember that happening.
Yeah, you were pretty blacked out. You were...
Sweet, dude. Fuck yeah.
You're like, fuck it. I had fun though. That's all that matters.
I thought I was pretty chill that night. I don't know.
No, not chill.
Oh, okay, cool.
All right. So Bella, anything you want to give a shout out to your social media? Tell them what you're doing, anything you're up to.
Well, on Instagram, I'm Bella Dillman because I have to stay straight for my family, you know. And then on Twitter, I'm Bella Trillman.
Bella
Trillman. So
I love that name.
Follow me on those. I love being on Twitter. I tweet the worst shit ever.
Dope. All right. And what have you been up to lately?
I've been doing shows in San Francisco, but mostly I'm just moving around. So hopefully you'll catch me back in Chicago soon, audience.
All right. This is just being mad awkward right now.
I don't do shit, Ken. Don't ask me what I'm doing. I don't do anything.
All right, audience.
Audience? Yeah, I've never done a Zoom show. What the fuck are you talking about?
Like, what's up with this internet thing, man?
Yeah. I'm here in the dark. It don't matter.
Oh man. All right. All right, Bella. Let's talk about the first time you when did you start drinking and stuff?
I started drinking when I was 12 years old. The first time I ever got drunk was also the first time that I ever had a sexual experience. It was with my best friend, Kate. Shout out.
Shout out to Kate.
We're not friends anymore. She would not be watching this. I have no idea where she is.
Was it after the sexual experience? She was just like, I can't be friends with you anymore. Was it?
Kind of. I mean, it just got real awkward after that. We were both we were 12 years old, dude. It's like, we're not supposed to be fingering each other's pussies. It's weird. Like,
yeah, that's a way to put a wrench in a friendship at 12.
Yeah, dude. I'm not ready for this. Like, what do you want to do? Be in a relationship? That's weird. Who the fuck are you?
Oh man. All right, so that was the first time you ever enjoyed alcohol. Let's just get into that story because I gotta hear this. This is
okay. The first time I was on Drunken Night Out, I told you about the time that I smoked crack. Do you want to hear the sequel this time?
Yeah, let's get the sequel. We
got a sequel going.
Let's get the sequel to Crack Girl Summer. Right now.
This is like a crack girl. This was like, okay, so the pandemic had just started. And it was like, no one really knew whether you were really supposed to be quarantining or what was going on. So I went to a party, right? And yeah.
Of course.
I remember everyone talking, like drinking and being like, I don't know, maybe I'll stay in Chicago. Maybe I'll stay in school. Like, who knows? This is only going to go on for like 3 weeks. And now it's 7 months later. So, but yeah, so I went to this party. I was on shrooms. And everyone there hated me. Like, as soon as I got there, I didn't have any alcohol. So I took a pull from this person's bottle and they were like standing right there. But I thought that they weren't, like, I thought that the person who owned the bottle wasn't there. So I was like, yeah, I'm just going to take this. And they were like, that's actually mine. And I was like, okay, nice. I ruined this. this social interaction already.
Yeah, I was like, killing the social interactions for sure.
I know. I can't do them right now. It's like I was already fucked up before the pandemic, but now it's like so I decided to go home early. I was like, oh, I'm such a good girl. It's like 11 o'clock, but I was already fucked up and I was on shrooms and I was on this train and people were like social distancing and like not sitting next to each other. And I decided like I got up and sat in between these two guys because I wanted to get into something. I was like, hey, what's up, white boys? How are you doing? Because they're both just white boys sitting on their phone. Like, and they were like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then this homeless dude who was obviously very interested in my vibe that I was putting out.
Wait, what? Oh, homeless dude, what kind of party were you at?
No, this was on the train. I was like, I'm going home. I was like, I'm going home.
I was like, wait, there's just people hanging out and a homeless dude just there. Like, fuck it, we're partying.
Dude, I wish I could go to a party where there was a homeless dude. That would be so much cooler than all the dumbass art school parties I go to. Stupid. But so this homeless dude is sitting across from these two white guys that I tried to engage. And he was like, what's up? Like, how are you? And he immediately gives me like Mardi Gras beads. And then I'm in it, you know, like for the rest of the night, you know that I have to be in it with him. And I was like, I'm just a bad person, dude. I immediately was like, you got anything on you? Like, you got drugs? And he was like,
Jesus.
He was like, I could find you some. Like, I could find you some. So I stay with this guy for like, we get off at the Clarkin Division stop on the Red Line. And we're just waiting there. And the cops come up to me multiple times and they're like, are you good, girl? Like, what's going on with you? And I'm like, no, I'm fine. This is my friend. Like, we're buddies. And we smoke some weed together. And then he goes up to the Clarkin Division stop to try to find some drugs. And he comes back down and he hasn't found any. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. Like, I don't want to hang out with you anymore. And yeah, I'm a psychopath. I'm fucking psycho. And
bro, you got ditched?
Yeah. And so I go up to this other dude who is selling drugs and he's like, I'm like, I don't have any money. Can you give me drugs? And he was like, no. And I was like, okay, what will I have to do for you to give me drugs? And
no.
He was like, let me jerk off to you. And so we go up into this construction site and I just stand there. I don't touch him. I don't look at him. And he jerks off. And then he's like, if you let me fuck you, I'll give you more. And I'm like, nah, dude. Like, no, like, this is the line.
Yeah, you're like, why would I let you fuck me? I already got drugs.
This is the line for me. Like, I'm not a prostitute. I'm just like a porn star. Like, I didn't even show him anything. I just stood there fully clothed while he jerked off in this construction site.
That is, I want to say that that's white privilege, but I don't know. It's
just hot privilege.
Yeah, but hot girl privilege.
Hot girls, we have problems also.
Like, yeah, that's incredible. I could never walk up to a homeless dude and be like, hey, dude, let me get some fucking crack.
Oh yeah, he gave it to me, but it was coke, not crack. But I was like, you know what? I'm really in the mood for some sweet, sweet crack cocaine. So I traded the coke to these other homeless people for crack. And then they were like, let's go cook this up in my apartment. And I was like, no, that's the line. Like, I already got what I came here for.
This story has so many elements to it.
And none of them make sense. And none of them make sense. None of them are put together. But this is just the night that I had on the train. It was like nonstop train to nowhere land, you know? And that they were like, okay, let's go cook up this crack in my apartment. And I was like, no, I'm good. And then I just hopped on the train. Like immediately a train to my house came and I was like, I'm good. And I went on the train and went home as if nothing had ever happened.
Wait, what?
I just pretended like it didn't happen.
There's no way that you could just go home after an experience like that. You're like, all right, cool. Yeah. I just went to a party, got completely it was weird. So I went on the train, got ditched by these two guys, and then had a guy jerk off in front of me, traded that cocaine for crack, and then just go home. Like you didn't just
And I was like, I'm feeling pretty good. I listened to Paradise by Jeremiah, and I didn't go to bed because I was high on crack, but I just like sat there on Twitter for like hours. I just pretended it didn't happen, dude. That's
like Homeward Bound if it was like a crackhead instead of like animals.
Yeah, dude, and I'm telling myself that's the last time I'm ever going to do crack. I'm telling myself that. I told myself that the first time I did it, but second time I think that's the charm.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you should have died in that story. Like you definitely should have made it home, but you did. So I think you deserve the crack after that.
If I had gone to that homeless man or that crackhead's apartment to go cook more crack, I think that would have been it for me, but I didn't do that.
Yeah, that was probably a good choice not to go cook the crack.
So yeah. I made the one good choice that night that needed to be made for me to stay alive. So that's good.
Yeah, it's a good line to draw the line at cooking crack at a homeless dude's apartment.
Well, I mean, I guess he had a home.
Yeah,
so
he's not home.
The crackhead's apartment. I don't know why he was hanging out at the train, but
he was looking for you. That's what he was.
I feel like that's just honestly every man's dream. Some crazy white girl, like every crackhead's dream is some crazy white girl coming in and being like, "Crack, please."
Yeah, no, I pray to God every morning. Like, hey, I hope that I get these millions, and I also hope that a white girl gets on the train and asks me for a crack this afternoon.
Ken, you're not a crackhead, but you're not a crackhead.
It doesn't stop me from praying. It doesn't.
I got the crackhead brain. That's enough.
Oh man, Bella, you do not disappoint with the stories.
I literally forgot about this sequel. I was just gonna tell the first one again, but honestly, I think this one's more interesting.
That story is like your first story, Crack Girl Summer. Go check it out, y'all. It's on the podcast. Go look up Drunken Night Out, and then type in Crack Girl Summer. That is a hilarious episode, but this for sure beats that. Like this.
Hell yeah.
That was just a voyage.
Raising the bar.
Yeah. I don't know if you can call it raising the bar when you're doing crack. I don't think.
I mean, it's an upper, so.
Oh man! All right, Bella. Y'all, make sure you donate to the show. Get on Venmo and Cash App. Venmo at BL Comedy, Cash App at $Big Laugh Comedy, so that way we can get Bella into some decent drugs, not crack anymore, y'all. This would be great. And then we have a special drop in right now. A very hilarious comic. I was begging him, so that's why the show got so screwed up there with the split screens and stuff to hop on. He is hilarious. Worked together so many times. He has a dry bar special out with hundreds of thousands of views. I want to say it was like 586,000 views the last time I looked at it or something like that. It may be more. But put your hands together for Andrew Rivers, y'all.
What up? Hi. Hello. Everybody make noise. Is there no noise to be made? That's fine.
Oh, wait.
That's fine. You know what? It's that's what I deserve, honestly. I don't know how to I joined in at the last minute there, and I'm a little upset because I don't know how to follow a crack story, but I'm also glad that I missed most of it. So it's like a weird balance, like I wanted to hear it just to see what was going on, but I'm also like, maybe it's a good thing that I missed most of it, but sounds like you're doing better. Congratulations. And, admitting it is the first step I've heard. So Yeah, what's going on? Hi, how are you?
I'm good, man. How you doing, dude?
I'm bored and horny, but other than that, things
Hey,
are going well.
I don't think you could ask for a much better way to live your life. No, bored and horny, man.
You know what? It's really my job is illegal, so that's kind of tough, you know. All the comedy clubs are closed down, but I'm hoping this will make me sound like way more interesting on a first date. If a girl's like, "What do you do for work?" I'm like, "What do I do for work?" Well, probably shouldn't talk about it here. It's kind of illegal. Oh, am I dating Batman? So mysterious. You know? Yeah, I'm like Batman if Batman took his parents' money and started a podcast. That's exactly what I am. But you know, just trying to get by.
All right, man. I love it. I bet when you said that to yourself, you were like, I'm doing something illegal, and I thought it was going to be selling drugs or at least buying drugs.
Yeah. I mean, all the illegal things I've done, if I get arrested for comedy, that'd be pretty interesting. But
can you imagine going into jail and they're like, "What are you in here for?" You're like, "Oh, I just stole from a store." What are you in here for? Comedy show, man.
Comedy. I murdered a man in his sleep for calling me the N-word, huh? You know, just like, oh, I tell jokes about Donald Trump sometimes. And yeah. Is there, am I supposed to have something prepared, or are we just going to talk? Am I going to tell a story again?
Yeah. So you're going to tell a story, but before we get to the story, let the people know where they can find you on social media and stuff.
Oh, Andrew J. Rivers on Instagram, YouTube, Adult Friend Finder, whatever. Please subscribe. I did start an OnlyFans as a joke, and then I got a message asking for private videos, and so I was like, okay. So I just sold some dick pics to this dude, and easiest $100 I've ever made in my life. I don't know.
Fuck yeah.
I'm, you know, all this slut shaming, we had it all wrong, because this is pretty dope. I've got paid more to send dick pics that I would have already sent out. Like I've been being reported for years for something I just made $120 at. I've been paid less for comedy than sending dick pics.
You've been undervaluing your dick pics, dude. You've been sending them out this whole time for free.
You're right. But it's not because I didn't think they were amazing. I just didn't think there was a market for them. And there is a market for them, lonely men. So, but who am I to deny them of greatness, you know? That's what I always say.
All right, man. So let's fucking get into it. When did you start drinking, man?
My first time having beer was in the Boy Scouts. That was not the merit badge they intended me to get, but we stole one of the guys' ID. They have like a troop leader, and then they have like 5 adult leaders or whatever. So like, because they can't bring like 40 people in one car, you know, whatever. So they have like 5 adult supervisors. And so we were on a boat trip, and this guy's little glove compartment on his boat like fell open, and his wallet was there. And one of the we like grabbed his ID, and we were like 16 or something. Mm-hmm. But there was one dude. I mean, I still look 16, so some people are like, "What's going on here?" But there was one dude. yeah. They're like, "Oh, he just started drinking last year. That's good." And he's already got enough drinking stories to be on this podcast about negative experiences. But we had a good run. But I was, I'm 35 now for context. But there was a dude. You know, some people just have those genetics. This dude had like a full beard at 16, and so he looked fucking 40. And we held up the ID of this guy who was like just a 30-year-old dude, and we were like, that kind of looks like you. And the adult leader guy, he just goes like, "Don't get caught," and we're like, "What?" You're not supposed to say that, you know. So we stole his ID, and my dad gave me $20 allowance for the trip to spend on like snacks. But I was like, fucking beer money. Yeah. I was the executive producer of the operation, provided the financing, and one guy had the face. And then, and so we all made a plan. We were like, let's wait outside the store and just get ready to run if he gets caught. You know, like, I don't know what we thought was going to happen. You know, when you're 16, you're like, they're going to call the cops on us for trying to buy it was also like 1995 or who knows, you know? So like no one gave a shit back then. But They probably knew we were underage or like have a blast. But
Don't tell them where you got it from. That's all.
yeah, so we were like, we went to this. We just bought like a 16 pack or whatever, and it was like 4 kids drinking beers around a campfire. But there was like, we were wasted because it's like we had never drank really, so we had like 3 beers, and I'm like, woo! And then we're like yelling at the people at the campfire below us, like, we're drinking underage. Like, oh, that's a good thing to yell out into
Right.
into the air.
Let's just all snitch on ourselves. Right?
Dry snitching on yourself, man. It's the worst. So we ended up getting caught, but not because of that. But like a couple months later, one of the adult leaders emptied a bottle of vodka and put it into like a thing of orange juice to make like a drink that they could bring on a trip or whatever. And so we all got accused, and then I got caught. I basically told on myself when I got caught for something else, where they were like, we know you were like, no, the one time we did was this other time that you don't know about. And he's like, what? We didn't know about any of that. And their punishment was you have to go tell your parents yourself, and then we'll call them in a week. And if you haven't told them by then you're in trouble. And I was like, I was just a super, stupid, honest kid. So I just went to my parents. I was like, we got caught drinking beer or whatever. And my dad was just like, they were like, I thought, they're going to kill me. And my dad was just like, careful, stuff's dangerous, And I was like, well, that's no fun. So like, I just didn't really drink that much after that because it was not like this. I also didn't have I didn't get invited to a lot of parties, like even now it's like people are having COVID parties, where they like try to get coronavirus on purpose. What? And I heard about it on the news. And then I was sad because I had to find out about it on the news. I was like, I'm not even cool enough to get invited to a COVID party. Like, that's bullshit, But I guess you have to be super hot to get invited, like at least 100.5 degrees. All right. So just gonna make everyone turn off this podcast immediately. But yeah, that was fun. And then there was one time when I was like 19, and we got invited to this party, and we still were like new drinking. It was like me and my best friend, and like they had all this Corona, and we were drinking it, and we are like, this tastes shitty. And so, but we knew from like the commercials that you're supposed to get a lime, right? And so we were like, maybe if we get lime. So we're like walking around this house party, like, does anyone have lime? And they're like, no, you just chug it. It doesn't matter. You're whatever. So we were like, let's go to the store. But it's like midnight, and it was like a very small town. So like grocery store closes at like 10 o'clock or whatever. And so our genius plan, I swear to God, this is 100% true. We went to a bar in town, and we just waited outside for someone. And then as soon as a guy pulled up and he was like walking into the bar, we were like, hey, can you go in and get some limes for us? Like they just hand out limes at a bar, And so he goes, I'm the owner of the bar. What do you need limes for? And we're like, oh, my mom's making a pie, key lime pie, and they ran out of the stuff at the store's closed. Just the worst excuse.
At what time of night?
It's like 11. Yeah, it's like 11 p.m. Everything is closed. It's a small town. Like this is the only bar in town, basically. Yeah. And we're like, we need lime for a pie. My mom in an emergency, she already started the oven. I don't know. And so he's like, you're an idiot. But he didn't say anything, and he walked into the bar, and we're like, oh, I think we got away with this. He bought it. And then he comes out, and he just throws us the lime, and he goes, enjoy your Corona. And we're like, what? And then we got back to the party, and we're like, oh, it still tastes like shit. And then
was that when he threw you the Corona? Was that like in those old what was that, the Coca-Cola commercials where fucking the refrigerator Perry throws his jersey over the kid?
Yeah, it's pretty silly, man. And then so those were my first 2 pretty humiliating experiences, but we had fun.
All right,
I turned out okay.
All right. Well, thanks for sharing the story. So right now, I'm encouraging everybody that's watching the show, type in the comments of what topics you want the comics to talk about. Because right now we're getting a little toasty, drinking some. If you got a drink right now, hold your drinks up in the air, and we're gonna cheers on 3. 1, 2, 3. And you know what's awesome about this? I normally say at my show, when it's a live show at a comedy club or wherever we're at, I say, drink as much as you want tonight because the cops can't stop us all. But we're all safe at home right now, so drink as much as you want.
It's a pretty shitty thing to encourage. Hey, drive drunk. Doesn't matter. They're not going to get all of us. I mean, some of you will go to jail and lose $10,000, but not a big. But on the plus side, when that happens, now you have a story and you get to be on the podcast. Has anyone approached you with like, you encouraged me and now I need to be on the podcast because it's your fault?
No, but I definitely, if you've been arrested after my show, please email me at a drunkennnightout@gmail.
We're going to have a GoFundMe for your legal fees. We're going to split it between all the comics, but
But you'll get some.
You'll get some of it. You get like $25. Not a big deal.
Oh man, yeah. So go ahead and Venmo at BL Comedy and or Cash App at $ Big Laugh Comedy. Man, yeah, that's freaking. Where did my alma go? All right. Or and I also want to give a special shout out to our sponsors of the show, Alma over here at Elevate. Alma, go ahead and check that out. It's a fantastic CBD elixir. No hangovers, delicious. All right, y'all. No hangovers. Check out Alma. Use our discount code at BL Comedy.
This show's about to get interesting. He's doing drugs in the middle of the show. Very unprofessional. Is this like a PSA? Like, don't do this, kids.
All right.
The differences between CBD and crack are astronomical.
I can't imagine. Thankfully, I only can use my imagination. But
yeah, I'm definitely not gonna have somebody jerk off in front of me at the end of this. So.
That's how good Ava. That's how good their product is. You will be jerking somebody off in order to get some. You will go to a crackhead's apartment, be like, "Yo, man, you got that CBD oil Ken was talking about?"
Oh man! All right, so this is the fun part of the show.
Sorry, you just lost your sponsor. I apologize. It's my fault.
Oh man. This is the fun part of the show. This is the part that I love. Everybody loves them when they come to the live shows. You get to see these comics now. Just joke about whatever y'all have typed down in the comments. And I do a thing early in the day to get some topics from people as well. So we're just going to, at this point, we're kind of going to just hop around. So I'll put a topic out there and then you guys just riff as you want to. So the first topic is prairie dogging. Familiar with that? Prairie dogging is when you have to poop and the poop just keeps bobbing in and out. Yeah.
Go ahead.
When you do a lot of drugs, there's nothing but prairie dogging. There's no release. There's no release. It's just a little bit. Just a little bit.
That's one of the things about drinking that I hate, I mean, especially in times of Corona, they're like, every symptom is like, oh, headache, diarrhea. It's like, is that Corona or is that the 16 Coors Lights I chugged earlier? Like it's too vague. So, I don't drink a lot anymore. So I have a high fiber diet and I don't have a lot of poop issues anymore. Occasionally I drink too many of those, like they're like these they're like the I can't think of they're like anyway, sometimes you drink too many drinks that are like good for your bowels or whatever, but then
like kombucha or something.
Yeah, but then you get diarrhea if you have too much of it because it's like trying to replace the good, what do you call it? The good stuff in your
the probiotics.
Yeah, there you go. The good, the pro shit in your body. And sometimes if you drink too many probiotics, you got to poop immediately because they're like, we got a whole fresh batch of probiotics coming in. But yeah. Do you have a product for prairie dogging? Is that why you brought that up? Do you have a sponsor for
Elevate. We'll keep you from prairie dogging.
Dude, like it's like every study now is like marijuana is good for everything. You know, they're like it solves coronavirus. Maybe they're not sure.
Oh
I
yeah,
get-
they said that nicotine solves coronavirus too. So I'm like, I'm not gonna quit smoking right now. Are you are you joking?
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've switched to Southern Cuts just so I get that straight nicotine into my lungs. You know?
Are those like the Indian spirits or whatever? They're just like real tobacco instead of like whatever Marlboro.
No, I'm doing the Marlboros. I used to do like Virginia Slim Lights, you know, like a girl,
classy
like
bitch. Yeah.
Classy bitch. Yeah, that's what I say every time. I'm like, yeah, Virginia Slim, that's a classy bitch right there.
Oh yeah, sitting at the coin slots in Vegas, you know, just Virginia Slims, baby. That's a classy bitch.
At the coin slots in Vegas, no, more like the freaking gambling machines at the corner store. That's
the ones at the gas stations. Yeah.
Right now, I don't remember gambling, so.
Oh man! All right, let's talk about sliding into DMs. I know that somebody's got a funny story. All right, nobody.
There's a porn star that also does comedy. Loosely.
Stormy Daniels?
She loosely does porn also, but hey. No, her name's like Sylvia Sage or something like that. She's pretty hot, but she's we met at a real show and she's like, "Oh, you're funny." And then we follow each other on Instagram. And so I've sent her pictures of my dick just to be like, what would you rate this as? You know, like you're a professional. Wouldn't you want to know? Like, you know, like this person's seen every possible dick and know. So I got good comments on my dick from a porn star. That feels pretty good.
Hell yeah, ladies. You hear that?
Yeah.
Or fellas.
Hey, ladies. Hey, or fellas. Yeah. Fellas on my OnlyFans. Absolutely. They know about it too. Got a 5-star review over there. So
I cannot say horny on Twitter. Like if I say horny on Twitter, then I immediately get 90 like Indian men in my DMs, like talking about, you know, like not even like real accounts, like spam accounts talking about how I should show them my tits, you know, like I'm like,
do you show them your tits?
You're like, do you
if
have
I didn't have a boyfriend, maybe I'd experiment with it, but
just see what happens. Hey, what do you got going on? That's
like
fun.
I'm a little bored, like
yeah.
I'm not gonna name names, but there's a famous person that I met at a bar that I slid into his DMs. Like he used to text me and then he ghosted me, and then I slid into his DMs with a full nude and he started texting me again.
Hey, so, yeah. That is how you get my attention also. Listen.
Oh yeah.
More women need to take that approach when they get ghosted. Just send a full nude and I'll be like, well, you've got my attention. What's up? Hey, how you doing? Let's go. Not a lot of like, it's hard to be like I don't know. It's hard to be like woke and like ask for nudes. I always have trouble with that, to be like, I'm open to it. You know, if you want, it's up to you. You know, it's like a tough, delicate balance, trying to be like respectfully, I'd like to see your tits. You know what I mean? Like it's not a good line.
Yeah, like if it doesn't hurt your feelings, I didn't.
Yeah. My Instagram is Andrew J Rivers. If anyone wants to send me tits, it doesn't have to be yours. It's probably fine.
Yeah.
Have a blast.
All right, I'll give one last topic, then we'll get out of here. The last topic, we're going to talk about small balls.
Small
Testicles.
Tragic. Honestly, I prefer them to big balls. I prefer them to big balls because sometimes the balls like usurp the peen, you know? Like I've had guys that their balls are so big that their penis is just like in them. And that's not what I want.
What?
I'd rather a small ball because you could put both in your mouth at the same time. And then also it's not like bubbling up, you know, like a cake, you know, just over baking into the penis.
Where's my ruler? I gotta measure something real quick. don't know if I've ever. I mean, I'm insecure about a lot of my body parts, but I've never even thought to be insecure about how big my balls are. And that's just, you're giving me more reasons to drink every night. But
yeah, you got to get like a little tape measure and do the diameter of the balls.
Yeah, diameter, the girth of the balls are important. Yeah. I think I have small balls, or maybe they're just normal size. And I guess I've never compared them. They feel like they're egg-shaped, but smaller than an egg. Is that helpful? Smaller
than an egg is ideal because I've gotten guys who are like 2 eggs, like that's 2 full chicken eggs.
That's a lot of balls, man.
That's too much, man. It's like
is there a correlation between just in your personal experience between like size and ball size? If you have a big dick, you usually have small balls. Is there, or is it just random?
It's literally random. It's just like, it's like pussies. Like sometimes like the inner labia are like bigger. Sometimes, you know, like it's.
I'm confused with can you show me on yourself actually if you
oh yeah, sure.
Could you just die? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure.
If you could just point out, like, oh, here's where this is normal to the side, but yeah.
I used to be
Yeah, if this is the worst thing that's been said on your podcast, I'd be amazed.
Ken, I used to be very self-conscious about my pussy because the inner labia are bigger than the outer labia. So I used to want to cut them off with scissors, like when I was in middle school.
Ooh. They have that surgery now, though.
They do, but I'm not going to do it now. Now I realize that it's like problematic to like feel that way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, not great. All right. And,
I like Nikki Glazer has done a lot for the flappy pussy community. Yeah. Well, she went on Conan and said hers looks like a hastily packed suitcase. That was like one of my favorite jokes because it's just stuff coming out everywhere. And she was insecure and she went to a surgeon. And they were like, "What do you stop? Don't cut your labia. It's beautiful."
Yeah.
I've never once been like going down on a lady and been like, "This is preposterous. These labias are out of control. I am done. I am out of here." You know what I mean? Whereas I imagine if it's the other way around, a lady's like, "Look, I can't. These balls are ridiculous. Get the fuck out of my face." You know?
These giant.
No, I feel like going down with anyone, I just feel like I'm using too much teeth, like on a lady or a man. Like I just feel like there's too much teeth involved in my mouth.
You gotta work on.
Yeah, well, okay.
I mean, if you keep fucking with crack, they'll be gone soon.
Yeah,
dude, I don't brush my teeth either, so I'm well ready for my teeth to come out. Just take them out, dude. I don't want them.
Yeah. You call me when you start losing your teeth, and we'll set some. We'll have a part 2 of this podcast and check in.
Oh my god, you guys are gonna be so. When I'm like a full-on crackhead, just like, yeah, and then I was like, and then just crazy.
You're like, hey, but those teeth are gone. Pretty hot. Pretty hot.
I'm just like, so what's up now?
Yeah. Dude, if you can fit your dick in the grooves where the teeth used to be, I'm sure that's like a sensation that could be. Yeah.
That's interesting.
I mean, if I like a gummy blowjob. There's got to be a porno about that somewhere. I mean, they have a porno for everything.
Yeah, they have like SpongeBob pornos. I think that they have.
I'm gonna Google some shit real quick. Let's see what.
You've never seen the SpongeBob porno? It's ridiculous. It's absolutely insane.
All right, y'all. Let's end on that note, y'all.
He's like, no, let's get out of here before Andrew brings this up. Let me share my screen real quick. I just want to show you guys something. Oh yeah, never mind. I don't want to see that. That was too far for a bit.
Canceled.
All right.
I'm gonna clear my search history real quick.
Andrew,
I'm about to get some weird fucking ads.
One more time, Andrew. Let the people know where they can find you.
Andrew J. Rivers, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, OnlyFans. I'm on TikTok. I just had my first viral TikTok. I tricked him because I made everyone think I was about to say some racist shit, and then at the end they're like, "Oh, he's pretty funny." So go TikTok me, and that's the new hot app everyone's on.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
And Bella,
I'm at Bella Dillman on Instagram, Bella Trillman on Twitter, and Bella Dillman. I have a website, belladillman.com. It's absolutely horrible. I use Squarespace, but Squarespace is good. I'm just bad.
Okay, cool.
So,
Yeah, it's like shout out to our sponsors at Squarespace.
Damn, another one goes down. That's terrible.
Oh man. All right, y'all. And this has been a Drunken Night Out. You can find me on all the social media sites at Ken Hamlet. You can find the podcast everywhere. On Facebook, it has its own page, A Drunken Night Out. And then the podcast is available literally wherever you watch podcasts. And the show is every Friday, 8 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and fuck the rest of the time zones because we don't care about them. And then you can see me on the Big Laugh Comedy Network on Mondays with my best friend Josh Firestein doing Party Time. Thursdays at 8 p.m. Central, you see me doing Triple Threat with my other best friend Allison Voidovich. And Fridays, you'll see this. And then
You're not allowed to have two best friends.
You know what? Fuck you, man.
All right. That's fair.
All right, y'all. Peace out.